Alright, so we're back from our recess.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Monica, second by Jim. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, sorry.
Aye.
Aye, all right. Moving on to 401, approval modification of minutes from our last meeting on January 17th. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from January 17th, governing board meeting as recommended.
Second.
Motion by Monica, second by Jim. All those in favor say aye.
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 There we go, so moved. Moving on, 501, the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Monica, seconded by Jim. All those in favor say aye.
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 That consent agenda has been approved. Just want to quickly thank all our donations for tonight through the consent agenda. The $4,700 from Quality First for Getz, the $10,000 that Aguilar received, the $5,000 Access ASU sent to Mosley. The Shanley received prepackaged popcorn from Harkins. $1,441 for fees Frank Holdeman, Shanley, and Thu from Sun Produce Co-op. And that is all of that. Dr. Driscoll.
All right. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board. Tonight I have a few items to celebrate in my celebrated excellence. Congratulations to Miss Steele, literacy coach at Arredondo Elementary School, for earning her National Board Certification. National Board Certification is one of the most respected professional certifications available in education and a wonderful accomplishment. We are so grateful to have dedicated, passionate staff like Miss Steele in TD3. Congratulations. Thank you. My reading is really good. Thanks. These bright, beautiful tiles were created by our very own students at Frank Elementary for the town of Guadalupe. These tiles have been installed on benches in front of the Guadalupe Library. Thank you, Frank students, for bringing joy and brightness to the community. It's cold here today. My hands are freezing. In honor of the Lunar New Year, which will begin this Saturday, February 10th, Mosley Middle School students celebrated the Year of the Dragon with a festive surprise for students. Mr. Meandow, 8th grade ELA teacher at Mosley, brought in his lion dance troupe to bring good luck and fortune to the school. The Lunar New Year is celebrated in many Asian countries, including China, Vietnam, South Korea, Thailand, Singapore, and many more. One way we celebrate it is with the lion dancing. The tradition dates back centuries to the Tang Dynasty between 1618 to 906 AD. Lion dancing is seen as a traditional way to welcome good luck and good fortune into the new year. And I don't want to steal President Miller's thunder, but I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our incredible partners who are making donations to TD3, specifically Michelle Barnett, granddaughter of Juan and Concepcion Aguilar, Quality First, Access ASU, Harkins Pop Stop Truck, and Sun Produce Co-op for their donations totaling more than $22,500 for our students and staff. And that concludes our Celebrate Excellence for this week.
All right, 7:01, open call to the public. We do have a public comment, so let's go to the video.
Persons wishing to address the board must fill out the Request to Address the Board card and submit it to the board's executive coordinator prior to the start of the board meeting. Per Governing Board Policy BEDH, Public Participation at Board Meetings, the Governing Board President shall set a time limit on the length of the comment period. For items on the agenda, individuals will be called upon when the item is introduced. For topics not on the agenda, citizens will be called upon during this portion of the meeting under Open Call to the Public. In compliance with the open meeting law, the Governing Board will neither discuss nor take action on items raised during this portion of the agenda. When necessary, issues will be taken under advisement and placed on a subsequent agenda. During the open call to the public, issues addressed must be within the jurisdiction of the board.
Alrighty, we have a Julie C. Kent. And it's 3 minutes for public comment.
Oh, geez. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, well, thank you for having me. My name is Julie Kent, and I have had 3 children go through Broadmoor, McCamey, and then Tempe High. So I have many, many fond memories of their schooling experience. I have one left that's a senior, so it's bittersweet for sure. While I have great memories, I also have ones that continue to sort of haunt me to this day. So I want to tell you a little story about what happened to my eldest his last week of his senior year in high school. So I was at work. It was about, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and he called me in a hushed voice and said, "Mom, someone just showed me a gun in the bathroom." So you can imagine how awful that phone call was. And he said, I know what I need to do, but I'm scared. Now, this is a 6'5", confident young man, and he was scared. And he was scared because of retaliation and bullying. I think he just needed to hear me say, you know what you need to do. And he did. So many things ensued after that. Of course, I ran, down to the school. But I tell this story because it's really not an uncommon story, unfortunately. What he experienced, what he was afraid of, he actually did receive. He had threats through, of course, social media, other students waving guns. He had one of his best friends who comes from a very stable family, has a parent that works in one of the high schools, say to him when my son told him the story, said, "Why would you snitch?" So I tell this story, and I'm here tonight not because of that, because of, quite frankly, many experiences I've had as a parent when there are lockdowns. I've spoken to all 3 safety personnel in our 3 school districts. And yes, there are guns in all 3 school districts on our campus. Thankfully, they don't result in horrible things all the time. I mean, I know we've had situations where students have taken their life, but in any case, guns do not belong on our school campus. This sort of epidemic that I call it does not know any socioeconomic or demographic background. It's in all schools in Tempe, valley-wide, nationwide. And I think we know many of the stories that we've heard throughout the years. I have faith in our school districts that they're keeping our kids safe, but I think there's more that we can do, and I think I'm here.
Thank you.
Am I done? Oh, it is.
Thank you. Moving on to 801, discussion, consideration, and possible approval of a memorandum of understanding between Tempe Elementary School District and Phoenix Children's Hospital for the provision of breathmobile service. Dr. Driscoll?
Thank you so much. So yes, we had this agreement back in October, and the new agreement basically changes some language about the fingerprint card. So in the original agreement, it had a non-IVP fingerprint clearance card. Now it's asking for an IVP fingerprint clearance card before they participate, and that's just a more stringent clearance. And so I want to say, I'm looking at Mr. Mangini, on that one, if they have a hit on their fingerprint, it actually shows up, and we would see that in our system. We get alerts from ADE pretty much every day of people whose fingerprint cards come in the lap. So if they had like a traffic stop, and got arrested, we would see that with the IVP. So they're actually asking for their student teachers, or in this case nurses, to have a more stringent IVP fingerprint clearance card. So that's the big change in this reg. But you were probably asking me about the breathmobile. So the breathmobile is Phoenix Children, and basically with that, is they provide comprehensive asthma management program for children and parents. And so this is in several districts across the valley. It's really awesome that we actually get to be a part of this. I want to say Michelle Grimaldi's group worked with them. So they would do this at THU, and they would provide those treatments for asthma for our students at THU. And anybody in our community that gets over to THU would be able to utilize this as well.
Monica?
Thank you, Dr. Driscoll, for bringing more opportunities for our students to have access to resources that are much needed. Sorry, it's me doing that, not the video. Thank you. Just thank you for doing that. I know we talk a lot about wraparound services, and I just want to reiterate something we've said before is like, you guys have done a really good job, Michelle Grimaldi and you and the rest of this team, in terms of bringing in partnerships. And as we keep saying, it takes a village, and just genuinely appreciate bringing additional support services.
Thank you.
Will help our students show up and be ready to learn.
Mr. President, I move approval of this item.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Jim and seconded by Monica. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. 802, discussion and consideration of possible approval of the noon aide position and corresponding job description. Dr. Driscoll.
So yes, what we're asking for the board to approve tonight is the noon aide position. What many people in our city might not know is that the state passed a law requiring recess and having physical activity for our students. But we have never really provided our schools with the extra support they need for recess. So many times we've had teachers and other certificated staff out there doing recess duties. So with this position, we are offering additional support to our schools to meet that state mandate for recess and extra physical activity. And so with this position, you would be providing extra supports for our schools to have the additional adults out there to supervise students at recess and other non-school curriculum-related activities.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the noon aide position and corresponding job description as recommended.
Second.
We have a motion by Monica, seconded by Jim. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. 803, discussion, consideration, possible approval of the project manager position and corresponding job description. Dr. Driscoll.
Thank you. Yes, this position would be a new position in our district, but it would be through a partnership with the Thai Foundation and another foundation. This position would not come out of M&O. It would be fully funded by the foundation. And so one of the things that's really nice about this is that the foundation is looking at providing supports and services for our students, and they don't want the district to come out of pocket to do that. They're putting their money where their mouth is to help students. And so this is a really great position and great partnership that we're embarking in.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the project manager position and corresponding job description as recommended.
Probably second that.
A motion by Monica and a second by Jim. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. 901, board information. Let's just start with Allison. Do you have anything?
Our board information? Is that
Yes.
what you're asking? Yeah, I do. I have it right here. So I just want to make a reminder that on 2/9 at Sanchez from 7 to 5 o'clock, they'll be doing breast exams, and we're highly encouraging our employees to get that done. And again, on April 12th at the Brogan Center from 11 to 4. Then also I want to remind everyone that this year between January 1st and 12/31, we're encouraging everyone to get their wellness exam. It's fully covered, and you will be entered to win a $150 taxable wellness prize. So we're encouraging everyone to get their wellness, and there's an incentive in there for them to do that. And lastly, I wanted to congratulate Conley and Shamley for winning the walking challenge. They all won lunch and chair massages, which I'm a little jealous of. And don't forget that the Love Your Heart 5K is coming up on February 17th at 8 a.m., and I hope to see everyone out there. Thank you, Mr. President.
Monica?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm so proud of our teacher for getting NBCT, and I just wanted to note, I believe that teachers through the Arizona K-12 Center can actually access that training and funding for NBCT through ATA. Is that correct, Dr. Driscoll?
Yes, I believe there's some funding that the K-12 Center does provide for teachers that go through the NBCT training, as well as I believe our district does do some stipends as well for teachers that go through that program.
Awesome. Well, let's see if we can get some more NBC teachers. And also, I know that ATA can also be used for dual language. That's probably more for high school, but I know there's a shortage of dual language, so students can get college credit while in high school. So that's another thing. I don't know if we're allowed to do dual credit here or dual enrollment, if that's possible, but.
No, but we do have dual immersion at Aguilar, so if you're out there listening and speak another language, we need teachers. So you can look at our website. We are hiring. So thank you for the PA announcement that I can plug.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last week, I attended 3 evening meetings regarding some of the boundary changes for Nevitt, Frank, and Thu. And they were well-done meetings. There weren't too many parents in attendance, but it was an interesting evening. And the people that were there asked great questions. So I was glad that I could attend from that standpoint. And I understand we'll probably be doing an action item on the boundary changes later on, probably this month. The other request I would like to make is sometime when your committee meets, the agenda committee, to include something, a response from the school resource officers and what they're finding and how we can help from that standpoint, just like we do with the academic reports. Thank you, Mr. President.
Come on. All right. 10:01, announcements and upcoming events. The ASBA Annual Advocacy Day is Monday, February 12th, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Arizona Capitol Historic Senate Chamber at 1700 West Washington Street. The Tempe Elementary Love Your Heart 5K, sponsored by TEEA, will be held Saturday, February 17th at 8 a.m. at Kiwanis Park at 5500 South Mill Ave. President's Day is Monday, February 19th. All Tempe Elementary schools and district offices will be closed. The next regularly scheduled governing board meeting is Wednesday, February 21st at 7 p.m. with an executive session at 6 p.m. in the Karen Arredondo Governing Board room, which is this room. The Thai Foundation Golf Tournament will be held Thursday, February 22nd at 8 a.m. at the Arizona Grand Resort. And finally, there will be a joint governing board study session with Tempe Union High School District on Wednesday, February 28th. Actually, I think that is being changed based on my last discussion, so that's out of date, but that's what I get for not reading ahead. All right. 11:01, meeting adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? I have a motion by Monica, seconded by Jim. All those in favor say aye. 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 Meeting has been adjourned.
Aye.